It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
Hey, it's that time for your weekly cup of coffee from Slumberland at the Lake. I'm Wild Will.
I'm Uncle Chris.
And 4th of July, it's here already. Hard to believe.
It's stunning. Every year we say, oh, where did the time go? It's 4th of July, but here we are again.
Yeah, lots going on around the lake. We're going to tell you where you want to be this 4th of July. Plus, of course, you've probably seen the body cam footage leaked from Lake Expo of the Camden County deputy. And the tension continues to grow between the prosecutor and the sheriff in Camden County. We'll break that down. Plus, you may not have expected to see it, but the Lake of the Ozarks is officially the cleanest lake in Missouri.
Yeah, it does kind of surprise me because it looks dirty.
We got that, boat crashes, boat fires, all kinds of local headlines and more. But first, this message from our great friends right here at Slumberland at the Lake.
Up to 60% off list at the Holiday Deals Week at Slumberland Furniture. Check out our 5 Lazy Boy recliners for just $4.99 each. A great deal. Get this sofa for just $3.99 and add on the chair for just $99. Get this giant Ashley sectional for just $12.88. A ceiling mattress starting at just $4.99. Pay no interest for up to 60 months on select purchases with approved credit. What a sale. The Holiday Deals Week at Slumberland.
There's no place to celebrate the 4th of July quite like the Lake of the Ozarks. And this year, there's so much to do. We get it, we do. However, we wanted to remind you that studies show that drivers who text are 23 times more likely to be in a crash. Now you get it.
Keep your eyes on the road and always remember to buckle up and put your phones down. This reminder to drive safe, boat safe. Brought to you by Price & Randall Injury Attorneys.
Yeah, 4th of July blowout. If you want to celebrate with something big, come take advantage of the big savings right here at Slumberland at the Lake all week into the weekend, and come by. And when you come by, tell them that Wild Will and Uncle Chris sent you. They love to hear that. And as we get started, big shout out to Osage River Popcorn. You know, it's a new Wild Will's flavor of the month.
What is the flavor this month?
Pickle Pop.
Pickle Pop.
Pickle flavored popcorn. And believe it or not, it's actually really good.
Really?
And if you mention Wild Will or Lake TV when you go in, you'll get your special discount on any size bag of Pickle Pop for the month of July.
And they're like that.
Well, that, or you could do the big family bags, but you mention us, you're going to get some kind of savings, regardless of size. So, and yeah, I wasn't thinking Pickle Pop was going to be good, but it's awesome. And also want to mention Lindy Spring, Lake of the Ozarks, where they deliver more than just water, from salt and drinks for the kids without food dye, all kinds of greatness. Check out Lindy Spring, Lake of the Ozarks. And as we get started with this week's show, a couple of rapid headlines. A boat fire was pretty popular online over the weekend.
What a video that was, right? Really dramatic video, this huge raging fire. And last I saw, authorities say they don't know what caused it, but the dock burned with the boat, and what video that was.
Yeah, and I saw Lake Expo did an update. There ended up being 4 boats that were totaled, and I didn't see what the cause was, but initially it happened Sunday, June 28th, and it was at the 4-mile marker in Dry Branch Cove, the north side of the lake. The video here was posted to Facebook by Michael Harlan, a local fisherman. So that was your first rapid headline, and then you had a boat crash as well, and this one we got a little more info on.
Yeah, boater seriously injured, could also be facing charges. Late night crash. The incident occurred around 1:24 in the morning. Nothing good happens at that time of the night, right? This was Saturday, June 27th. At the 17.5-mile marker, the patrol says the boater, 28-year-old Camdenton man, failed to keep a lookout, crashed a 2024 flagship pontoon into a dock walkway. Not even just into the dock, but apparently he was so far in, he ran into the walkway. The boater had serious injuries, was transported to the hospital. No further injuries reported. The Highway Patrol says Sean O'Connor, 28-year-old, arrested on suspicion of boating while intoxicated, alcohol, boating while intoxicated, drugs, both apparently, violating no wake laws. You see that little buoy that's off docks? It should be about 100 feet off docks. You're not supposed to be in there at all because there could be swimmers and stuff in there. Violating no wake laws, careless, imprudent operation of a vessel. So he's in big trouble.
Yeah, he was arrested and released for medical treatment, but he is facing some serious charges. And again, a reminder why you always designate a sober captain, never worth the risk. And to be honest, although this guy is facing some legal troubles, he's lucky he still has his life. And a lot of times, you don't walk away from those situations.
Absolutely. Well, and it reminds me of Price and Randall. You know, their whole motto is drive safe, boat safe, right? Injury attorneys here at the lake. And I mean, they help people to get hurt, but they don't want you to get hurt. Like you said, designate a sober driver, man.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so hey, this one might surprise some people. Lake of the Ozarks might be cleaner than you think. A new nationwide water quality study has ranked Lake of the Ozarks as the cleanest lake in Missouri.
Yeah, and the 4th cleanest in the whole nation, apparently, right? So this is a report from Lakes, right? And I'd never really heard of them before.
Lake.com.
Lake.com, okay. So they release these rankings. The sources that they use are the National Water Quality Monitoring Council. Sounds pretty important there. Number 1 cleanest lake in the country, Lake Superior, right? And that's one of the Great Lakes, the biggest Great Lake. Number 2 is Lake Chelan in Washington State. Number 3 is Lake Hartwell in Georgia, South Carolina. And then the Lake of the Ozarks, number 4 cleanest, which is weird because doesn't it seem like the lake is like kind of dirty and muddy and all that
stuff? It's
stuff?
unique because of the way it's filtered with the dams and the wildlife. Gets stirred up, it also gets filtered. But now research has evaluated 8 different indicators of water quality. In case you're wondering, water clarity, dissolved oxygen, phosphorus, ammonia, lead, sulfates, total dissolved solids, and pH balance. The study examined many of America's largest lakes and used those measurements to determine their findings. So if you're wondering, okay, so those are the cleanest lakes. What about the dirtiest lakes?
All right. The worst, dirtiest lake in the United States, they say, is Lake Okeechobee in Florida. And that's got like a lot of gators and snakes and all that stuff. So yeah, that wouldn't want to go there. Number 2 is American Falls Reservoir in Idaho, 2nd dirtiest. Number 3 is Lake Texoma, which I used to live pretty near to when I lived in Dallas. It's ranked 3rd worst for cleanliness. Pyramid Lake in Nevada is number 4. That had the absolute worst levels of what they call TDS, total dissolved solids. I don't even want to know what that means, total dissolved solids.
Use your imagination.
Yeah, exactly. Number 5 was Lake of the Woods. That stretches across Canada into Minnesota. And number 6, and they say the worst smelling lake in the entire country is Devil's Lake in North Dakota. Apparently that place just stinks.
That checks out too, Devil's Lake.
Devil's Lake, yeah.
Yeah, it checks out. Hey, and this is not just bragging rights. This is good because clean water here at the lake supports tourism, boating, fishing, swimming, property values, of course, local business, but it also reflects the work by conservation organizers, our volunteers, local governments, and the watershed groups who are focused on protecting one of Missouri's most valuable natural resources. So whether you're a lifelong resident or planning your next vacation down here to Lake of the Ozarks, this ranking is just another reminder of why all of us know Lake of the Ozarks is just so special.
Absolutely, and just because, you know, you have muddy lakes and you have clean lakes, you know, like the lakes that are on rock are very clean because you don't have the mud stirring up and stuff. Lake of the Ozarks is a muddy lake. We got, you know, mud being stirred up. Doesn't mean it's a dirty lake, though. It's clean water for the most part, although you're not going to want to drink it, swallow it, you know, stuff like that. So.
Yeah, and clearly, just don't go swim right where the geese are pooping.
Right,
you know,
that's not a good idea.
For E. coli. All right, so here's a big one. A new controversy that's been building for months here in Camden County has now reached an entirely new level. Body camera videos involving Camden County Sheriff Deputy have sparked a very public disagreement between the Sheriff's Office and the Camden County Prosecutor's Office. And Chris, this is a dispute that will most likely have lasting impacts on criminal cases here in Camden County for years to come. So if you've been following, back in May, Lake TV first reported those allegations surrounding multiple arrests with a detective named Sergeant Bryce Easley, right? The prosecutor said, I'm not going to take their cases. And the sheriff said he's been exonerated. He's a good officer. So what are we all to make of this, right? Well, since then, body cam footage has surfaced and actually leaked to Lake Expo. And we've seen a lot of that. And we've continued to follow this major development. But Chris, with this new body cam footage, kind of changes everything.
Yeah, really, boy, I'm telling you what, this thing is blowing up, and we have been talking about it for a couple of months. So the story says the sheriff has a problem. In fact, he's got two problems. The first is a deputy, this Sergeant Bryce Easley. A series of body cam videos released by the Camden County Prosecutor's Office revealed disturbing behavior during multiple arrests conducted by Easley. In one incident, Easley punched a suspect repeatedly in the head while arresting him. The Missouri State Highway Patrol investigated that for potential officer misconduct. The second problem is Camden County Prosecutor's Office is now refusing to prosecute any cases that Easley investigates. Camden County Prosecutor, she says his body cam videos from multiple encounters are more likely to hurt her cases than help them due to Easley's behavior. So this is just getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and that decision to post those videos or share those videos now prompted a very public response once again from Camden County Sheriff Chris Edgar. In a letter posted to the Camden County Sheriff's Office Facebook page, Sheriff Edgar strongly defended Sergeant Easley, stating that his office stands firmly behind the deputy and disagrees with the prosecutor's conclusions. Sheriff Edgar argued that the decision undermines law enforcement, could make it more difficult to prosecute future criminal cases, and ultimately impacts public safety throughout Camden County. He also questioned the process that led the prosecutor's decision and expressed concerns about what he believes could be a troubling precedent for his deputies who would simply be doing their jobs. Meanwhile, Prosecutor Grosvenor maintains that her decision is based on her legal and ethical responsibility to disclose credibility concerns and ensure her office can move forward only with cases that meet constitutional standards. That's where it seems to be a disagreement between the two sides. And as a result, what began as a question surrounding body cam footage has evolved into a very public disagreement between two of the Camden County's highest ranking offices.
Yep.
So why is this story so significant, Chris? Well, when a prosecutor, as Rochelle Grosvenor has done, determines that she cannot rely on testimony from a law enforcement officer, it can make prosecuting certain criminal cases far more difficult. While the sheriff's office continues its day-to-day operations, cases in which Sergeant Easley is the primary arresting officer on or key witness could face major legal hurdles being tried or prosecuted in Camden County. Now, beyond the courtroom, this controversy raises some larger questions in regards to officer accountability, transparency, and you see a lot of people are supporting these actions. And if you've seen the body cam footage, I find it hard to still defend an officer after seeing that, even if you were enraged or even if you were emotions. And so I know they get put in those split-second decisions, but it appears there might be a continued pattern of this. I didn't get a chance to break it down too far, but it's no longer just about one deputy or one body camera video. It's evolved into a broader discussion about prosecutor discretion, officer credibility, and honestly, there needs to be potentially additional investigators, legal action, or policy changes, because nothing changing leads to no changes. And right now, the only thing that you have is an upcoming election with the prosecutor on the ballot and a challenger, Lynn Brandt, who is currently tied in with the sheriff's department. So this thing just reeks any way you look at it. And again, we'll reiterate that the real victims here, the real losers here, are the victims in these cases, their families, and you, the taxpayers of Camden County, because the justice system in Camden County continues to fall further and further behind. And so we want to hear from you guys down in the comments below. Do you agree with the prosecutor's decision, or do you believe the sheriff's office is right to stand behind its deputy? Let us know and share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. We'll continue to keep you posted, but I can tell you right now, as we tell you every time we cover Camden County Sheriff's Office and Prosecutor's Office, this feud, this story is far from over.
Oh, yeah. It's going to go on and on and on. So hopefully they'll be able to figure out. And what's strange about it is the sheriff and the county prosecutor started out as friends, right? And apparently it's gone sideways and they're not friends anymore. So
But here's what I know.
That's too bad.
I know they're both great humans.
Yeah.
Like, I love Rochelle Christensen Grosvenor. I love Chris Edgar personally. But outside of that, they both have very, very important jobs to do. Both are God-fearing Christians. At this point, is there not a way we can come together and publicly reconcile or figure out how do we as a county move forward? There's been wrongdoings. There's been things that have to be answered for, but in the light of transparency and justice, can we find a way to reconcile and move forward? That's what I want to see.
Yeah, that would be nice to see, but we're not seeing it right now. Hopefully they can do a 180 and come back to that.
All right, our next local headline. This one piqued my interest. Would you believe me if I told you that one gaming card was worth $1,500?
Sure. I mean, I know you. You've got a whole lot of cards that you sell and make big money on and stuff. So, I mean, this is an industry now, right? I mean, this is big business.
Massive. And according to Camdenton Police, that's exactly what happened with a $1,500 card getting stolen from a shop in Camdenton. Authorities say it happened on June 9th at Ozarks Trading Cards and Video Games in Camdenton. Great place, by the way. Love that shop. According to court documents, the store owner reported that a rare one-piece Port Gas D-Ace trading card, which is valued at just under $1,500, disappeared from behind the sales counter.
Okay.
Police reviewed surveillance footage that allegedly showed a man leaning over the counter, grabbing the card before placing it in his back pocket.
Pickpocketed it. He stole it.
Stole it. Just a few days later, investigators learned the same card had been sold at another card shop in Eldon locally for $880. That information led officers to 36-year-old Cody Cochran of Eldon, who was arrested and booked in the Camden County Jail before prosecutors filed a felony stealing charge involving property valued at more than $750. And yeah, Chris, collectible trading cards have absolutely exploded over the past several years, whether it's Pokemon, sports cards, or the increasingly popular one-piece trading card, not to mention Disney Lorcana or Disney Topps Chrome. But some individual cards are now selling for hundreds and in a lot of cases, thousands, and in some instances, millions of dollars. As values continue to rise, card shop owners are investing more heavily in security systems to protect high-end inventory from theft. The felony charge is currently pending, and like all criminal cases, the allegations remain just that until proven in court. But if you get a look at that security video, they don't seem to be real much of the allegation lines. We'll continue following this case and bring you any major developments as they become available, but don't be that guy.
No.
Like, seriously, first, it's something that's supposed to be for kids. We all started when we were kids, and now all of us grown men that do that, collect, invest, trade, buy, like, don't be that guy. There's no quicker way to get canceled in the industry and to be put on blast than to be a thief.
Yeah.
Don't be this guy, Cody Cochran of Eldon.
So, and there's a lot of us that, I mean, we don't really know much about cards, but like I know like an old Babe Ruth card or an old, Tris Speaker card sold for like millions, right? Because those are very,
Mickey
very
Mantle,
rare.
52 tops, graded in the right condition, has fetched over $3 million. And different Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan patch autograph cards have fetched in the millions. Albert Pujols, you've seen a lot of Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes cards hit that $1 million mark. So hard to believe when we were collecting as kids, those little bitty pieces of cardboard could one day be worth millions of dollars.
So when you're the only card collector or dealer that I've ever known, so it's been kind of fascinating watching how you work. Like you'll see things a few years ahead of time, like Patrick Mahomes. I remember you were like buying Patrick Mahomes before he became Patrick Mahomes, and you told me, this guy's going to be huge. These cards are going to be worth something at some point. And then, here you go 5-10 years later, he explodes. Those cards are, I mean, that's a big business.
It's like the stock market, and you have to pay a lot of attention, but I've been really lucky and blessed with the guys that I've chosen over the years. But yeah, sports cards, gaming cards, trading cards, they're massive.
And the Pokemon
Everyone
thing.
does them.
I don't get that, but they're apparently huge, right?
Yeah, and for guys like me, we don't care about opening the cards or buying the singles. We want the sealed product for 5 to 10 years down the road to sell because we know what sealed product from 5 or 10 years ago is worth now.
Yeah.
And so it's just a repeat, and everyone is getting into it. Kids, the high school in Camdenton has an extracurricular course teaching kids how to play the Pokemon game.
Really?
So, I mean, it's blowing up. All right, our next local headline, since we haven't talked about data centers this week. Legislators call on Missouri Governor Kehoe to have special session over data centers. Now, one of the biggest political debates in Missouri this summer isn't actually going to be about crime or taxes. It's about artificial intelligence, massive data centers, and whether the state of Missouri is moving too fast without enough safeguards. A push led by State Rep Don Mayhew to call all lawmakers back to Jeff City has now received an answer from Mike Kehoe, and it's not the answer supporters were hoping for.
Yeah, Kehoe will not apparently call for a special session, opting instead for the issue to be considered in the next regular session, which Mayhew also says will be too late for any substantial measures to be put in place. About 20 Republican House members signed onto the request for a special session to talk about these data centers, including the Lake area. Our district's Jeff Vernetti signed on to that as well. But, you know, this is blown up. We had that data center issue for that new complex being built in Lynn Creek. That came out of nowhere, kind of blew up. And boy, I tell you what, that's brought a lot of awareness to a lot of different people. And this is now not just a local thing. This is really blowing up around the country.
Yeah, supporters of the request say Missouri is seeing rapid interest from developers looking to build enormous data center campuses here in the state. And they argue that Missouri needs to act immediately before these projects can become finalized. Among those concerns lawmakers raised, the strain these facilities could place on Missouri's electrical grid, which we've heard before, massive water consumption required to cool many AI data centers, increased transportation and infrastructure demands, and consumer privacy and data concerns, whether current Missouri law adequately protects local communities before projects move forward. All were listed and put before. And as you said, Governor Kehoe says, nope, they'll wait. But a lot of people are fearful that it's going to be too late. We'll continue to follow this story on lawmakers. Local communities like ours are being impacted. It's not just like you said, the lake or just Missouri. We're seeing this everywhere, data centers, and they're already there. Like, people don't know, there's already big data centers here in Missouri built and there. We just don't know about them.
Yep.
Right now we're finding out about them, and people seem to be shocked that they are there, but they're there, right?
And they're not going away. There's just going to be more and more and more and more, because that's the world we live in now.
Amen. All right, a tragic accident at one of the lake's busiest boat ramps has claimed the life of a Missouri man after his pickup truck unexpectedly rolled into the Osage River near Bagnell Dam. Chris?
Yeah, and this is the second one of these that we've had in the last month or so. So a man died after a truck and a trailer become submerged in the Osage River at the Bagnell Dam access. Missouri State Highway Patrol said it occurred around 4:45 in the afternoon, June 23rd. So this wasn't a middle of the night thing. This was right there in the middle of the afternoon, 4:45. A 60-year-old man from Clark, Missouri, backed his Dodge Ram with a trailer down the boat ramp. 66-year-old woman, also from Clark, pulled the boat up onto the trailer. So everything's good, right? The guy backs the trailer down, the lady drives it up onto the trailer. But as she walked to the front of the boat to secure it onto the trailer, the pickup began to back down into the water. She fell. She had some minor injuries because the truck almost ran over her as she's trying to secure the boat there. The trailer continued into the river until both were submerged. Authorities didn't say, this was what I was wondering, if the guy had the heart attack or something. So authorities didn't say if there was a medical incident prior to submersion, but the diver was unable to get out of the vehicle. And once his body was recovered by the dive team, the coroner declared him dead at 6:39, about 2 hours later. So just another tragic story. But it almost sounds like he had a medical event or something happened when things went south.
Yeah, as you said, they didn't determine exactly what caused the truck to go rolling or what happened with him. And they haven't indicated whether mechanical failure, driver error, or another factor contributed. But incidents like this are rare, but they serve as a reminder that boat ramps can become hazardous when launching or retrieving watercraft, and authorities encourage boaters to ensure vehicles are fully in park before exiting, engage the parking brake whenever possible, double-check trailer positioning before stepping away from the vehicle, and communicate clearly with everyone involved during the loading process. In the end, our thoughts and prayers are with the victim's family, friends, and everyone affected by this tragic accident. Can you imagine how heartbreaking to lose someone in your family this way? And then the 66-year-old woman that had pulled the boat up and watched this all unfold, just heartbreaking.
Gotta be shocking.
Thinking about them, praying for them.
That's
all right.
the 8th fatality for Troop F in June. The 8th fatality in June for Troop F. So it can be dangerous. Got to be safe about that.
No doubt. All right, well, here's a headline I definitely didn't have on my 2026 bingo card, but Vanilla Ice is officially set to come to Lake of the Ozarks.
Ice, baby, right? Okay, so is it the Juggalos? Juggalos. Never heard of them before. So they're that group. They're coming to Max Creek in August, and apparently this is a big deal, right? The Juggalos, organized by Psychopathic Records and centered around fans of the horrorcore rap duo Insane Clown Posse. Never heard of any of that, right? So, but apparently it's big. So Vanilla Ice has officially joined the lineup for this gathering of Juggalos. So big name. I mean, Vanilla Ice is huge. He was just a nationwide thing with the 250th 4th of July party stuff.
Yeah, it's the 26th gathering of the Juggalos, 19th to the 22nd. And this event will attract thousands and thousands of fans known as Juggalos from across.
Are you one of them?
No,
okay,
not a chance. But they do everything from concerts, wrestling, comedy, camping, and
I bet Andy.
entertainment. But I think it's pretty cool. All right, stop, collaborate, and explain yourself, whether you're an old school 90s music fan, a longtime Juggalo, or simply fascinated by one of the most unexpected entertainment stories of the summer. One thing is certain, Lake of the Ozarks continues proving that you truly never know what is coming next.
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice?
So this festival features live music, obviously, with Vanilla Ice, camping, wrestling, comedy contests, and a variety of fan-focused activities, they say. Kind of sounds like fun.
Well,
not sure
stop.
that's my group, right?
Stop.
But, right.
Collaborate and listen.
Okay.
Now, Ice about to bring you a brand new edition. Maybe that's not Vanilla Ice. Maybe it's not. All right, hey, 4th of July weekend here at the lake, and there's one place you want to be. There's all kinds of fireworks shows, family fun events. All the lake bars got something going on, but it's going to be insane at Captain Ron's. The 3rd of July. It's the biggest party at 4th of July, July 3rd, Captain Ron's and Sunrise Beach. It's the best family-friendly beach bar. They've got the tiki bar, the swim beach, the volleyball games, beach games, playground, incredible revamped menu for 2026. They've even got the food truck with Dippin' Dots, right? So plenty to do, and if that wasn't enough, along with their frozen drink selection. People love those frozen drinks. Dirty banana, pain in the butt, they got them all.
Michelle just had one yesterday, one of those dirty banana things.
I heard. We were there last night having dinner, and Brooklyn goes, yeah, Uncle Chris was here earlier.
Yeah, I saw her. Yeah. I said, how you doing? What you doing? We're getting ready for the 3rd, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I'm glad you said that because it's July 3rd. iBerries will be there. Amazing fireworks at dusk. And you can see this video here, LOZ drone off of Facebook. Like the fireworks show they put on in that cove, second to none at Lake of the Ozarks. And if you're wondering, you've never been there, it's the 34.5 mile marker by water, or it's off Aloha Lane and Sunrise Beach. But it's going to be awesome. And also, don't forget, Captain Ron's is home of Aquapalooza on Saturday, July 18th. Midwest Beach Wrestling Nationals coming up. And then, of course, Cannonball Run, which is going to be massive. They got live music all weekend, so make sure you go in and see our good friends at Captain Ron's for 4th of July weekend. It's going to be crazy.
Love that place. And the food is so good.
And shout out to Noah, the new server. Love Noah. He's great. We've had him a couple of times. Like everything about Ron's rocks. And they got a new dock girl this year.
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Yeah. The daughter of the owner.
Yeah,
right?
Brooklyn Dugan. Wow. She rocks. Had to see her out there from basketball court setting records at Max Creek to slinging boats on the docks at Ron's. Leave it to a Dugan, would you?
Absolutely. Great
All right.
stuff.
So as we get ready to send you off for your big 4th of July week, we got to take just a moment and give you our weekly scripture and reflection. You know, Chris, it's easy to compare ourselves to others or wonder if we're even making a difference, right? But God never created us to be a copy of someone else.
Right.
He intentionally designed us with unique gifts, experiences, and a purpose that only we can fulfill. Today, don't waste your energy wishing you were someone else. Instead, embrace who God created us to be and look for opportunities to love, to encourage, and to serve those around you. The good works that He has planned for our life aren't by mistake. They're divine appointments waiting for our faithful yes. From the book of Ephesians, chapter 2, verse 10, for we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do.
Good stuff,
Goodness,
man.
isn't it?
Yep.
Always good. We keep the main thing. And if you're wondering what else is on Lake TV, you can catch Erica Frazier from Central Ozarks Medical Center on the Spotlight Show. She's great.
She is great. She runs their dental program over there, dental operations manager. So cool. It's amazing. So she tells us all about that. COMC is pretty amazing, so check that out.
That, and this Saturday, look for the monthly market update with Jessica Bruce and the Bruce and Kelly Real Estate Team Remax Lake of the Ozark. That'll debut Saturday on all Lake TV platforms. But that's going to do it for this week's Cup of Coffee. Have a happy and safe 4th of July. Thanks for watching this week's Cup of Coffee.